I never heard of the real story. I was so surprised to see that in fact it was based on this true story, because the concept seems like something that would be perfect for a movie, but not actually have happened. The story of these, young Hasidic Jewish guys who were, uh, kind of taken advantage of and asked to smuggle drugs in from Europe.
What do you think kind of compels your characters to kind of go on that journey and do it?
Yeah, that was the other really interesting thing about it is this character at the center of it, who I play, Sam Gold, is he's really kind of attracted to this other life. Things aren't going right with his life. He's been turned down for marriage by this girl who he expected to marry. It was an arranged marriage, and then the family rejects him, and he feels like it's because his family doesn't have enough money. And so when he sees his next door neighbor wearing a Rolex and driving a nice car, he sees an opportunity to make some money, not realizing that what he's doing is really illegal. And so what's really interesting about the character is that he's kind of both attracted to this new life as well as repelled by it. But he sees he has two options. He could become a rabbi or work with his father. He wants to do neither one.
Mm-hmm.
And the drug world kind of provides him an opportunity that he doesn't see in his life. And then the other thing is his father is hard on him and strict. And the kind of surrogate father he has in the drug world, which is the head drug dealer, brings him in and accepts him and loves him right away. And of course it's fleeting and not real, but Sam feels all the feelings he wished he felt at home in the drug world.
Was it important as well to kind of keep it believable? Because stories like this, sometimes they're very kind of glamorized on film and stuff, and you keep it quite low-key, basically.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly right. That what we tried to do with this is to make all the drug deals seem realistic and clumsy, and make the Hasidic world seem as real as possible. And I spent about 1.5 to 2 years with with the Hasidic community, over the course of 2 years, not every day, but with them, learning about their culture, and they're far more similar to my secular family than one might expect. Even though they kind of live in such a unique way, inside their home, they're far more warm and and loving and casual than you might expect from just seeing them, on the train, with their heads down, looking different and not making eye contact with anybody. And so, and also the drug world, I don't know too much about it, but I imagined, and we imagined it to be less cool and slick as movies tend to display. So we wanted to kind of make both of those two worlds as authentic as possible.
And New York as well is kind of a bit of a character in the film as well. I wonder, have you got any favourite New York movies that have that as a setting?
I love really any movie that takes place in New York, because if the movie's bad, you can still watch New York, which is entertaining. The first movie I was in took place in New York City, and somebody told I was taking a class, and there was like an older guy in the class, and he came up to me and said, "I didn't understand that movie you made, but I loved watching New York because I liked where you filmed it." And it's of course, Woody Allen is known probably most famously for capturing New York in such a specific way. He was able to kind of capture his own experience in New York as well as beautiful landmarks and make them look new. And in Holy Rollers, we were hoping to do a similar thing. We're hoping to show something that has not really been seen that much, which is kind of the Hasidic Jewish world as well as what their lives are like in Manhattan. They live in Brooklyn, which is right outside Manhattan, which is the center of New York City, and yet they come in every day to work in the garment district in Manhattan, and it's kind of a very unique view of New York, because it's really what the Hasidic Jewish person's life is in New York. They don't see Times Square or Broadway. They have kind of a very limited scope of New York City, which is Brooklyn, and then going into kind of the garment district.